collaborative effort at the beginning. I had known Tom Dunn for a while, and he had done a number of very sort of organic pieces. He dealt with sculptures and clay pots and things of that sort, sort of an earthy kind of performer. I knew him as a performer. And so we knew each other, and the Philharmonic was interested in commissioning a piece, and I recommended, hey, let's see if Tom Dunn would write a concerto. So he came to this gathering, the meeting that we had, and he said, I really want to write for the elements, percussion and the elements. So essentially what Tom Dunn has done, which is amazing, is he's taken something that is very common to all of us, water. He connected it with percussion. So I think that was why the original title was Water Percussion Concerto. It now is just a water concerto. And in this piece, he conceived of different percussion instruments affected by the water. Pitches bending, colors changing, distortions, whatever you want. Now that's how I heard it. But he heard it many times as vocal things and as pitch bends and as his language. For example, he has me doing this in this sometimes where I'm doing these sort of water drips. And when I first started doing it, he sort of stopped me and said, "You don't understand this sound." I said, "Oh, it's water drips." And he goes, No. He says, that pitch bend it's like my language, he said. I hear the pitch bending. So we don't have a particularly attractive language, and it's not a lot of pitch bending, but that gave it a whole new look. It's interesting to hear how some of the pitch bends go into the orchestra, the string glisses and bending, and how some of the sounds in the orchestra then show up in the effects of the water as well. Now, the other challenge with that was then collaboration goes to the point where he writes for these instruments, or writes this, notates everything, gives me a part. I look at the part and I say, what are these instruments? And he says, oh, well, you'll have to come up with those. So I just sort of used my imagination with some of them. And also I introduced him to some instruments. So there are a lot of elements of this piece which are very common. You're going to see a Super Bowl mallet. You're going to see a slinky. You're going to hear a sound that you've heard from different scenes in movies, or even different science shows.